so tempted. You can't get this watch from an AD as a walk-in, and currently the waiting list is over 2 years. This is as live as it gets, guys. A lot of these watches were for sale this week and have now sold. Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. This video is titled "The Watch Market is Dead." In the United Kingdom, grey market prices are going down weekly, and I can prove it. I have collected the evidence for you guys to see for yourself, and in this video we will cover most of the hottest Rolex watches money can buy. But why do a video like this? Honestly, it's for people who want to buy a Rolex and have no chance of getting one from an authorized dealer, and I'm trying to send you in the right direction in the United Kingdom to get the best deal possible. And that deal will be from only one grey market dealer, and that's a fact. It's called Watches of the Vale, and they're based in Cardiff, and I'm going to prove it, guys. Let me give you an example. This is the latest Rolex Daytona. I purchased this unworn from Lee at Watches of the Vale, based in Cardiff, 3 months ago for £20,650. He is now selling this exact same watch, brand new, unworn, 2025, for the same price. If I'd have waited 3 months, I'd have got a 2025 version. Same watch, worth probably £250 more for the same price. Do you see what I'm trying to say? So my watch is going down in value by the month. This watch is probably going to be worth £1,000 less by Christmas, and that's a good thing, because I don't buy watches to make money. I buy watches because I'm a collector. Let me give you another example, but it's not a Rolex example. I do collect watches. I'm a watch collector, true and true, who happens to be posting videos on YouTube. I recently purchased this white Speedmaster from, guess who? Lee at Watches of the Vale, based in Cardiff. And I got it carded 2 days ago for £5,995. That's £1,600 less than MSRP. Incredible, right? Incredible. I also have a Snoopy, and I also have a world timer. And that is the state of my Omega watch collection. I don't do state of the collection videos because I find them vulgar. As you can see, there are a few of my watches in front of you now for you to see. If you're the wrong kind of person here, you're watching this video to see what the watches are going to be worth if you get a call from the AD. These watches that you can run and buy and sell for a massive profit. But you want to be careful, because just because Lee is selling them for £1,500 above MSRP, that doesn't mean he's going to pay you £1,500 above MSRP. He's going to want to make some money. He's not running a charity, and let's estimate that he wants to make £1,000 profit on a watch, and he's selling that watch £1,500 over MSRP. With taxes and after everything, he's probably only going to offer you £300 profit on that watch that you waited years for, or purchased a load of crap to get, to make this money that you're not going to make anymore. But if you're desperate to make £300 profit, go ahead, buy it. Ring Lee from Watches of the Vale, because he will buy it off you straight away. I am not telling you to go to an AD and purchase a watch to flip it for a tiny profit. That's your decision. The whole point of this video is to go through some of the current prices on the markets today, so you know what to pay and so that you don't get ripped off. It's now September 2025. Let's have a look at what some grey market dealers are asking for some of these super hot Rolex watches, watches that you won't be able to get from an authorized dealer without a buy history. Let's look at the beige 41mm OP. DAO watches, they want £11,850 for the watch. They're on drugs, aren't they? They're taking prescription medication for sure. They're asking £6,285 above MSRP for the watch, which I think is just ridiculous. If you shop around, you'll see that Trilogy Watches has the same watch for £9,450. They do, which is still £3,800 above MSRP. And you might think, Brenny, that's a great price. That's a super hot watch. I need that watch. Well, just hang on a minute. Just hold your horses. Lee is selling the exact same watch, new, unworn, for £8,250, which is £2,600 above MSRP. Looks like a good deal, right? And that's the whole point of this video. Because from the time Lee got this watch to advertising this watch, he bought another one. But as you can clearly see, it's the exact same watch, but now Lee is selling it for $7,995. See the difference? Which means he's now selling it for £2,345 above MSRP rather than $2,600 above MSRP. Prices are going down by the week. This is a perfect example of waiting. Lee doesn't look at one watch being the same as another. It's just he gets it at one price and he sells it at another, and therefore he's selling the same watch, same year, same size, for a completely different price. Incredible, right? Now I'm going to show a real shocker, a watch I really like, and it's absolutely glorious in the flesh. The latest blue OP. This one is going to be a very rare watch because your ADs are putting all their money into the pistachios and the beige because that's the most popular. So there's going to be less of the new blues available. Therefore, it's a rarer watch, and Lee is selling it for $6,995. I'm so tempted. You can't get this watch from an AD as a walk-in, and currently the waiting list is over 2 years. The best advice you'll ever hear from Brenny is buy this one. Don't suck up to an AD to get this watch. Ring Lee at Watches of the Vale. Tell him Brendan sent you, and he'll probably knock 100 quid off this watch, maybe 150 off this watch for a quick sale. That means you'll only be paying $1,200 above MSRP. It's a no-brainer, guys. Knowing what I know about Rolex ADs in the United Kingdom, they're all suckers. You may as well just go see Lee, and Lee will do you a sold order. Any watch you want, he'll get it for you. When I started making this video, I tried to look at other prices, GMG, the honest watch dealer, but their prices are absolutely ridiculous. And then this popped up, and you might think, hey, Brenny, that's the latest pistachio. That's a really good price. And I'm going to tell you, it's not, guys. It's not. This company, Swiss Timepieces, who I've had dealings with in the past, not bad dealings, it's just they wouldn't negotiate on the price. They wouldn't come down on a deal. They want $10,350. But if you look closer, you'll see it's only the 36mm. The 36mm. They're having a laugh. Would you like to know the maximum you should be paying for a brand new OP41 pistachio in September 2025? Over to you, Lee. $8,995. It's still $3,345 above MSRP, but that's what you should be paying. And if you wait a month, and you wait a month, and you wait a month, you pay less. Simple as that. There might be a spike in November, just before Christmas, but it won't be a big spike. So just wait till January, February, and it'll keep dropping again and again and again. And they'll be now selling them slightly bit more because of the price increase, but they'll still be dropping. Rolex has a price increase on the 1st of January every year for about 3 to 4%. So if you're going to buy a Rolex and you want a 2025, the best time to buy one is November. Let's fly through some of these other prices. A brand new Submariner date. Lee is selling it for 9650, which is 1,550 above MSRP. If you go in, say Brenny sent you, you'll probably end up only paying 1,400 above MSRP. At that point, it's a no-brainer. Onto the Submariner date, he's selling it for £10,650, which is again £1,550 above MSRP. So, in theory, you could get that £10,500 if you just mention Brenny's name. Simple as that. I don't need to sell you on Watches of the Veil. Look at these prices, guys. This is a watch that I want to get in my collection, and this is a watch that I could have swapped my Snoopy with like for like 3 months ago, but I hesitated. Now, I'd have to put money in the pot and give him the Snoopy. Both watches have dropped in value, but the Omega brand is going down quicker than Rolex, I'm afraid. So back to this watch, brand new Starbucks for 11,700. This is a very hard watch to get, very, very hard. You won't get this watch without a buy history. So this is £2,150 above MSRP. You will likely get this for 2,000 above MSRP if you mention my name. Simple as that. The Sprite has come down considerably. That's now 13,750. Brand new. Full set. £3,650 above MSRP. Would I pay that? Absolutely not. I don't recommend you pay anything like that for that watch. But that's the current value of the watch. A grey watch for Manny is still the Pepsi, and that is £16,995, a whopping £7,354 above MSRP. If I wanted that watch, I would just buy it off Lee. Simple as that. I wouldn't want to spend all that money, but that's what I would do. When Lee gets these watches, they go next day. They don't hang around. This watch, if I had passed on it, it would have been gone next day. And this cost me 7,000 above MSRP. 7,060 to be exact, pounds. The Batgirl, she's still commanding a good price. 13,650. I've seen Lee selling them as low as 13. I think it depends on the deal he gets on the day. But this watch is 4,000 above MSRP. Would you pay that? Most people do. He sold both of these watches in one day. This is as live as it gets, guys. A lot of these watches were for sale this week and have now sold. These watches are all selling at these prices. Bruce Wayne on Jubilee, 14,700. Would you pay that? Most people do. I think this one is still available, but it's only just dropped in the last 2 days. 5,050 above MSRP. I personally think it's a bad buy. It's going to be the run to the litter in a few years. You're better off putting your money into a Zombie or a Guinness. I call it a Guinness. What are you calling it a Zombie, Lee? His Zombie is 300 less than MSRP. £15,500. It's a hell of a lot of watch and a hell of a lot of gold for that price. Next, we have the holy grail of Rolexes, a watch you will never get as a walk-in at a Rolex AD, and you'll probably never get it anyway. They'll just string you along for years and years and years and years and years and get you to spend tens of thousands of pounds on garbage. Just go and buy it on the grey market. What are you waiting for? The Rolex Daytona. A ridiculous amount of money at $24,995 when the MSRP is only $13,600, and yet it's sold within seconds. And that was 2 weeks ago. My watch that I use as an example, exact same watch as mine, carded 2025. The date on the card makes a difference to the price of the watch. It does. This one was listed for the exact same price as this one, and Lee gave me £250 off this watch, which means you're going to get a 2025 for 250 quid off if you haggle with Lee, but don't tell him I said that, and you're going to get a newer card. So therefore you're saving £500. Does that math compute? I hope it does. While we're here, quick review on the watch. Incredible. End of review. This is a very hard watch to recommend you buy from Lee at Watches of the Vale, because I wouldn't spend this money on this watch. With the way watch prices are going, if you paid £3,545 above MSRP for this watch, the minute you wear it, you've lost about £7,000. I don't see you being able to sell this watch back to Lee for anything more than 27. So you just got to be careful. If you want this watch, you really have to want it. And some ADs, because of the price increases with Daytonas, they may even be able to sell you this watch with a year's wait. It's a funny one, guys, but this is the price of this watch. And Lee is still the cheapest in the United Kingdom. Prove me wrong in the comments if you've seen one brand new unworn for less. I don't think you will. 36,995. It's too much, isn't it, guys? This one looks terrible in pictures, but it's my favorite watch, and I own this watch, and I would never sell this watch. It's a Yachtmaster. It's the same case as a Rolex Daytona, same clasp. It's the same bloody watch. And the steels and the two-tones go for less than MSRP. Never buy this watch from an authorized dealer. Brenny did. But that purchase was perfect. The memories on that day, perfect. And that watch was from Preston's, would you believe, of Winslow. So he's selling a 2022 Yachtmaster 40 for £12,350. I'm pretty sure he had a 2024 about a week ago for around the same price. That's £2,850 less than MSRP. And you could still probably haggle him down. You could probably end up getting that watch for £3,000 less than MSRP. It's a hell of a lot of watch for the money, and you have to see it in person to realize how beautiful it is. Absolutely stunning watch. The next watch was actually on my list of watches. It's the yellow gold Yachtmaster on Oysterflex, and Lee is selling it for £22,995, which is a whopping £5,155 less than MSRP. This watch comes with receipts, so somebody bought this watch to get to another watch. That's a fact. Who would spend that kind of money and lose £5,000? And they haven't lost 5,000, they've lost more, because Lee wouldn't have paid that for it. Lee probably bought that watch for just under 20,000. Big loss. They must have got a fantastic watch in the deal. This watch, the Sky Dweller, you will never get this from an AD. And yet I would never pay this kind of price. But this is the price of the watch, guys. A green dial Sky Dweller. Lee's selling it for £19,500. which is £5,150 above MSRP. It's not for everybody, that watch. You need a big wrist to carry that watch off, guys. You greedy flippers, you would run to the ADs if they called you, wouldn't you? You'd run there and then you run to Lee and cash in your £3,000 profit, wouldn't you? What's funny, I get flippers reaching out to me saying, Brenny, I've only been offered £2,000 profit on this watch. I know I can get more elsewhere. What do you think? I'm thinking, yeah. I'm thinking, get stuffed. This is also something you might want to consider. Datejust. Lee is selling a smooth bezel Datejust for £8,250. When I know you can get this watch from any authorized dealer if you just ask and wait 4 weeks. So even though this is a good price, it's only 850 above MSRP. If you haggle with Lee, you probably get it for 700 above MSRP. You're better off going to an AD, better off going to Preston's and putting your name down for this watch, especially the smooth bezel ADs. On the flip side, fluted bezels are mass waiting lists in all colors at the moment. So I'm going to flip it around and say, this watch, don't mess about, go straight to Lee. He's selling it for $10,995, no messing. That's a good price, trust me. £1,545 above MSRP. So you could probably end up getting that for $1,400 above MSRP. No waiting, no 2-year wait. A 2-year wait is going to add 8% to the price of the watch. You may as well have got it off late and enjoyed it for 2 years and pay more. And that's if we're lucky. Some years, Rolex ADs had 3 price increases. And as a rule, they used to have one in January and one in September. It's only this year, in 2025, that they've only had 1 price increase in the United Kingdom. You guys in America could get another price increase any minute. I put this last watch in just for poo and giggles. Yeah, I know you can get this watch from any AD in the United Kingdom. Don't buy a watch like this above MSRP anywhere. If you purchase this watch, you would not be able to get above MSRP for it on the grey market. My view, if you want this kind of a watch, you go into an AD, tell them you want a President, and just see what they offer you. And within a week, you'll be offered something. Have you ever heard of the ombre dials? They tend to only order the ombre versions of this watch. If you went in there and said, I would like an ombre President, one will show up pretty quick. I think that's enough, guys. That should give you a broad spectrum of what you should be paying for these watches and what you shouldn't be paying. And I can't recommend Lee any more highly than I do. I'm in the 15 to 20 subscriber range who's purchased watches from Lee. And also, I have subscribers who've sold watches to Lee. I've also got subscribers who fell on hard times, and I helped negotiate a higher trade-in price for their watches with Lee. I did. If you want any advice on what to pay for a Rolex wristwatch in 2025, Brenny is on Instagram. Reach out to me. I will always help and reply. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed this video. Take care. Bye-bye.